Hey, what's up, everyone? Sidus here. Like I said, we will be doing listen to the Voxphones, and we're gonna do that right now to get a better idea of what's going on in this game. All right, here we go.
To those who loved me, I was the most generous of souls. There was no pain I would deny them, no betrayal I would not gladly give. And when I had scorched the hearts of all who loved me, the prophet said, "There is nothing you can do for which I will not forgive you. For God has granted me sight, and through his eyes, even you are loved."
Was she a prostitute? Oh.
To those who loved me,
No. Oh, no.
I was the most generous of souls. There was no pain.
They'll call us assassins when our work is done. Cornelius Slate, the swift left hook of the Vox Populi. We'll be trading Comstock's life for a new one. So be it. The Fitzroy woman and I are comrades of necessity. I doubt all the men who reddened Caesar's toga would still be seen breaking bread together in peacetime. With Comstock gone, my men's past deeds will be sacred, and they will claim the spoils due them. I need not live to see it.
Alright, wow. Okay. Some of this stuff is just ridiculous.
Veterans! You shed your heart's blood for Columbia, lost limb and viscera in the godless Orient. Comstock did nothing! And yet, look up! Whose image squats above you even now? At every angle and insult! If the prophet would make a painted whore of our past, what fresh rape does our future hold? Let us now make our stand and fill yonder hole with true heroes!
Wow, I think he's a little peeved about stuff.
God makes all kinds of soldiers, but he only made one Cornelius Slate. My father followed him up San Juan Hill, through the legations in Peking, and as he put it, through hell the order was given. At today's muster, Slate asked me if I was Sergeant Monroe's daughter. I said, "Yes, sir, I am." Slate said, "Your father always wanted a son. I hope the fool has wisdom enough to recognize his good fortune."
Oh, yeah, to send him off to war and have him die. Okay, I get that.
The one thing people need to learn is that fear is the antidote to fear. I don't want to be a part of their world. I don't want to be a part of their culture, their politics, their people. The sun is setting on their world, and soon enough, all they gonna see is the dark.
Well, I think Daisy's a bit peeved. I'm thinking someone spilled some water on her nice leather shoes one day, and because of that, she's just never forgiven anyone.
Got a tip there were contraband guns hidden in the fellow traveler. Didn't find them, but funny thing, we found some old uniforms under the floorboards from the war. Took guesses as to why they were there, but... Who's there? You're Slate, right? Sir? Put the guns down!
Did you hear that, Comstock? That is the sound you have never heard. The sound of a soldier's end. Come to your hall of heroes. Prove me a liar.
Okay, so I'm thinking, Mr. Slate here is a bit crazy, you know? I mean, so what if Comstock, stole this girl back in the day? So what if he left him with a crazy bulging vein on his head? I mean, that sort of stuff happens.
I served 20 years of soldiering, and every heathen land I've known is less peopled for my passing. I hated no special enemy. Until now.
Okay, so Captain Cornelius Slate is actually not a captain. He's just Cornelius Slate. Yeah, you totally just lost some kudo points in our book.
As a boy, I had a dog named Bill. Like all dogs, Bill was a loyal friend. If we had not fed him, Bill would have been loyal. If we had struck him, Bill would have been loyal. Only when the colored man can make that claim will he take his place in society.
Okay, that was a slightly... No, that was even slightly. That was a thin... That was not even thinly veiled at all. That was a straight-up racist remark. Let's call the people who are enslaved dogs. Or lower than dogs, actually. Good lord. No wonder why Daisy's all pissed.
When I first seen Columbia, that sky was the brightest, bluest sky that ever was. Seemed like heaven. Then your eyes adjusted to the light, and you saw that sea of white faces looking hard back at you.
What do you expect? Come on now. Colombia? This place definitely got black people all over there. It's 1901 or something like that. Okay, no, this is 1912. Okay, maybe it's 1912. I don't know.
The prophet may know how his own biography is going to end, but I can scarcely fathom how I'm going to start it. I mean, other than the kid stuff you get at the Hall of Heroes, anything prior to his baptism was, and here I quote, hang on, left on the riverside. They'll call me a plagiarist, but I'm going to spend the first 30 pages regurgitating scripture.
I do wonder what the beginning of Comstock's, sort of whole rise to craziness is. That'd be a cool part of the story to learn.
What makes the girl different? I suspect it has less to do with what she is, and rather more with what she is not. A small part of her remains from where she came. It would seem the universe does not like its peas mixed with its porridge.
Well, that was not the most confusing thing in the world.
It is one thing to imagine one's future, and another to see it. I have seen the seeds of fire that will prepare the Sodom below for the coming of the Lord. But Elizabeth shall sow those seeds, not I. I will fall before the job is done. But she shall take up my mantle. The Lord is calling me home. I feel his love in every tumor, because they are the train which takes me to his station. And I go with joy, knowing that Elizabeth will take my earthly place. But the false shepherd is coming to lead my lamb astray. I will not board that train until she is safe from his deceptions.
Oh, okay, so Comstock's dying of, was presumably cancer. That's what tumors are and stuff. But, this all alludes to something pretty creepy. If you guys have ever played Bioshock 1 and 2, you realize there's the little sisters. There's no little sisters here. And they were obviously different. And I can't remember offhand. I don't remember if that's from genetic experiments done to them in Rapture. I think it was. But in order to do that, they had to have a basis on how to augment the genetic structure, and I'm thinking Elizabeth might have something to do with that, which kind of alludes to a kind of eerie future and stuff. I don't know, I'm kind of excited to see how it kind of ties in, because it's going to have to tie in at some point.
I guess even in a restricted area, these crackers need someone to clean the floors. Those politicians and scientists don't bother about what they say around me, because I'm some half-leaded colored boy. But
I can tell they scared out of their wits by that thing they got locked upstairs. Yes, sir. They got a dog about to tell, and they don't know whether to hang on or run.
Spoken like a smart black man. Ty Bradley, I wish I could meet you.
And the Lord saw the wickedness of man was great, and he repented he had made man on the earth. Rain. 40 days and 40 nights of the stuff, and he left not a thing that walked alive. You see, my friends, even God is entitled to a do-over. And what is Columbia if not another ark? For another time.
For one, you do not have every single animal in the world with male and female, so duh that you're not another ark. And you're essentially just white. I haven't seen any Asian, except for the one Asian guy who was being chewed up alive. There's no Asians here, so you're not preserving the natural species or the natural order. So, although you can make the argument that it's the point of your art is to get rid of the bad Chinese yellow folk. Oop. Look at this guy's picture.
Sweet mother of Columbia, why do we worship three symbols in your memory? We worship the sword, so that we might avenge you. We worship the raven, so that we might cover the city with eyes. We worship the coffin, because it symbolizes the weight of our faith.
Well, that's really creepy and stuff, but I just want you guys to take a look. Look at this picture. You know, Jeremy here had to sit down and, sit down for that picture. What was the photographer thinking? Like, sir, can you move your hat, please? No. That can't be done.
What exactly was the great emancipator emancipating the Negro from? From his daily bread, from the nobility of honest work, from wealthy patrons who sponsored them from cradle to grave, from clothing and shelter. And what have they done with their freedom? Why, go to Finkton and you shall find out. No animal is born free, except the white man. And it is our burden to care for the rest of creation.
Well then, I'm pretty sure that's not true. But we are in Finkton, so we get to find out where all the black people are going.
And when the angel Columbia gave unto the founders the tools to build a new Eden, they did so without hesitation. For 85 years they prepared the way of the Lord. But when the great apostate came, he brought war with him, and the fields of Eden were soaked with the blood of brothers. The only emancipation he had to offer was death.
Who's the great apostate? Is that me? Is that Booker? Or is that Slate? Or is that, whatever the black chick's name is? I don't know. Daisy? God, I don't know. Maybe somebody else is in the history here.
Comstock came by the wagon at dawn. Man was just transfixed by my trophy scalps. Asked about the white ones there. I said, well, sir, if your quarry dwells in the jungle and beds down with the local color, why split hairs? Not a chuckle out of him. Either he ain't seen a man go native, or maybe too many. Anyhow, now it's got me hunting down this Daisy Fitzroy. Hope he don't expect me to stuff and mount her. Yeah.
That was kind of creepy.
Father Comstock called on me today to write his biograph. Me. The man pays for exactly 100 pages in advance. Now, I'm half a Jew when I smell silver, so I say, Father, your flock would pay for 1,000. Why settle for less? And then the prophet looks to me and says, 100 will suffice, as I know how it ends.
Madame Lutece, I have read all your books on the sciences. Mama says it's not a fit occupation for a lady, but I think she's jealous of our cleverness. Is it true that only you were allowed to visit the girl in the tower? If the lamb is lonely too, I should like to meet her, as we would have much in common. Warmest regards, Constance.
I wonder if we're gonna meet, let's see, what's her name? Madame Lutece? Lutece? I don't know. Wait, maybe we'll meet her. Or maybe it's like that one lady that was down in Rapture who was trying to save the little sisters or something. I don't know. There's so many questions left unanswered. I just don't know what to do. Oh, it's the last one, and it's from Lady Comstock, just how we started.
Love the prophet because he loves the sinner. Love the sinner because he is you. Without the sinner, what need is there for a redeemer? Without sin, what grace has forgiveness?
Alright everyone, that was the last Voxphone. I finally got around to listen to all of them. It's opened up a few little questions, nothing real too big, but just a few little side things that I wonder about. Like this new madam person who was the only person to go meet Elizabeth. Elizabeth's possible tie into the little sisters, yeah, all sorts of little things, but I think it's way too early on to even begin to, you know, speculate upon what might happen in the story, because from what I understand, I haven't had the I haven't had the story spoiled for me, but people have told me it is absolutely ridiculous and crazy good, so I'm looking forward to it. But that was story time, Voxphone, Bioshock Infinite with Sidus. Tune in next time to the next episode of Bioshock Infinite. Should be out pretty soon, and tune in for some more Voxphones, because I'll continue to find them and we'll continue to listen to them through the rest of the game. Alright? Oh, and also tell me if I've missed any, so I can kind of like, I don't know, go back, or I doubt I can go back, but maybe I can be a little bit more, I don't know, on the lookout for them. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Storytime with Bioshock Infinite with Sidus. See you guys next time. Later.